And it turns out you just beat me to it. Damn it. All right. Yeah. It just goes to show, because when I was in the chat for the podcast this time last week, we were discussing what episodes we'd like to see for a future episode of the Orville, and a lot of us, myself included, wanted to see something where tonight's episode ended up addressing what we wanted to see, and it did so brilliantly. Oh my god, dude. All right, so I'm going to try and keep this as spoiler-free as I possibly can, but there are going to be some, so if by some chance you're listening to this, consider yourself forewarned. Like I said, I'm going to try and keep it spoiler-free, but, some info might seep through. All right, so tonight's episode, we see the Orville come into conflict with the Moclans. And, all right, so basically, it's setting up escalating tensions within the Planetary Union as the member worlds are forced to choose, whether or not they're going to confront Moclan prejudices head on to try and protect a rogue colony from basically being wiped out. And I have to say, it handled the subject matter so well. But you just know that they're going to revisit this at some other point, because they kind of have to, because the way that they resolved the episode, it was basically a temporary resolution at best within the larger narrative of the Orville's universe. The story opens up where the Orville is basically ferrying a pair of Moclan engineers who are assigned to upgrade the Orville's weapon systems, because the Moclans, basically, they're the ones, they're primary suppliers of weapon technology to the Planetary Union. And not only do they have to increase their firepower against the Kalon, but, just in case the Krill decide they don't want to make peace, well, they have to go ahead and be prepared anyway. So, but the way the episode is set up, Bortus discovers that there's a secret that the Moclan engineers are hiding. Orville obviously is compelled to investigate. And at that point, that's where the tension in the episode comes up. I continue to be amazed at how well written this thing is. It's handled so well, and it addresses social and political issues in ways that STD and Disney Star Wars and Feig Busters and all that crap just is not interested in doing. Basically, it's maintaining the spirit of Star Trek, whereas CBS is not. And that's really the most I can say without going into spoilers. And I'll do a spoiler-laden review probably tomorrow. But I wanted to get my first thoughts, fresh after watching the episode. And, oh, wow. So, I got to tell you, I am dying to see the Orville renewed for a third season. I hope that they do. They had Marina Sirtis in a guest starring role, not the role that a lot of people were speculating, because when we heard the brief story synopsis for tonight's episode, we figured she'd be playing some kind of Inquisitor character or something. I don't know. At least that was the rumor mill. But it turns out, no, it was a lot more mundane than that. She's playing a school teacher aboard the ship. So it's handled in a way where, everything just ties in. And I have to say, the idea that I had was, because like I said, I was in the podcast live chat last week, discussing ideas for, what we would like to see in the Orville for a future episode. And I was like, okay, I'm going to write a script and see if I can send it in, because I am a screenwriter. I try and get my stuff submitted, but it's kind of tough when you're a newbie and you're trying to get established. But then the more I heard about the episode, the more I was like, something tells me I should hold off. And it turns out, I'm going to have to come up with something totally different because, but I love this show and I love this episode. It really does not give you an easy way out. And I mean, you are basically asked to pick a side in this, all right? And obviously it's a side that Seth MacFarlane wants you to take. But what I like about it is that unlike, say, Star Trek, where they give you a more or less easy resolution to the episode, because he's episodic nature of the storytelling at that time, again, you're going into syndication. Episodes are going to be broadcast out of order. Each episode has to be self-contained. And what I like about this is that the Orville really strikes a balance between episodic storytelling and serialized storytelling, where now you don't absolutely have to go ahead and watch every episode in order, but it does help.